has turned on the seatbelt light. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelts. Thank you.
So, you want to become a published author. Well, here's how it's done. You create a Flare project. You add all kinds of stuff to it. You develop your style sheet and skins until they're just the way you want them. You complete a bunch of options in your targets to tell Flare how you want the output to behave. Now all that's left is to generate your output and get it into the hands of your users. How do you do that? In this video, we're going to give you a short answer and a long answer. Here's the short answer. In Flare, open the project ribbon, click the Build drop-down field, and choose the target that you want to generate. The Builds window opens at the bottom of Flare and shows the progress of the build. When it's all done, the State cell will say so, and you'll see dark green in the Build and Compile cells. Double-click the row and review the output to make sure it looks okay. If it does, go back to the Builds window pane, click on the Build row, and choose Open Output Folder. Copy the output files shown, and the folders too if there are any, and put them in a place where your end users can get to them. That's it. That's how simple it can be. But now we'll give you a longer answer, because there are some other features that you might want to know about that will help you do even more and make things even easier for you. First of all, ask yourself if you want to manually copy the output files to the final location for your users, or if you want Flare to do that for you. If you want to do it yourself, just follow the steps we just showed you. Another option is to use a third-party tool to push the files up to a server. But if you want Flare to do it for you, then create a file called a publishing destination. This file can be used to make a copy of your output folders and files and put them wherever you want. You'll need to create a separate destination file for each unique location where you want to publish output. Here's how you do it. In the project organizer, right-click on the Destinations folder and choose Add Destination. At the bottom of the dialog, give your destination a name and click Add. This will add your destination file to the project organizer, and it will also open it in the destination editor to the right. You've got 4 ways to copy the output files to the destination. These methods are found in the Type field at the top of the editor. One option is called File System. Select this option if you want to move the files to another location on your computer or to another drive on a network. You might use this option if you just want other people in your company to access the output. The option is really easy. In the Directory field, just click the Browse button to select the location where the files should be moved. There are some other fields that you can use if you use the File System option. We're not going to go over them in this movie, but when you have the destination editor open, you can press F1 and read about all of the available fields in this online help topic. There are 2 other options called FTP and SFTP. Select one of these options if you want to move the files to a server where others, including those outside of your company, can access them. When you select either one of these options, you're going to need to enter some additional server information. You may need to ask your network administrator what you should enter in these fields. The FTP option is easier to complete, but it's also less secure than SFTP. So SFTP has some additional fields that you'll need to complete, but it's often the preferred option because of the additional security. And finally, there's an option called Source Control. This lets you copy your output folders and files to a mapped version control location. For example, maybe your company's software developers want you to put your output files somewhere on a Microsoft Team Foundation server so that they can automatically grab those help files and incorporate them into a build of your company's software application. Rather than manually adding your output files to source control each time, you can do it automatically through your publishing destination file. After selecting the source control option, you need to choose a local directory on your computer to first place the output files. Then you can use the fields in the source control section below to bind the output files to a location on the source control server. Flare can detect if you already have a source control binding, in which case you can use that. Otherwise, you can connect to a new source control location. Again, for more information about each field in the destination editor, see the online help. The next thing you need to do is open the target and select that publishing destination. That's how Flare knows where to send the files for a particular output. The good news is that you only need to set up the destination file and associate it with the target once. After that, you're good to go. From this point on, whenever you generate output for that target, you can also select the Publish option to move a copy of those output files to the location specified in the destination file. Now that the destination file is set up, let's take a tour of the Flare interface to see where you can initiate the building and publishing of a target. First, you can use the buttons on the project ribbon. If you use the Publish button before building your output, or if the output is outdated, Flare will ask if you want to generate it. If you say yes, the target will be built, and then the output will immediately be published to your destination afterward. You can also right-click the target file in the project organizer and choose the Build or Publish option from the context menu. Or you can open the target and click the Build or Publish buttons in the target editor. If you have more than one target to build or publish, there are a few ways to do it. First, you can add a batch target in the project organizer. Flare shows all of the targets in your project, and you can use the checkboxes to indicate which ones to build or publish. If you want to build or publish the selected targets right away, you can use the buttons in the local toolbar of the batch target editor. Or you can use the Schedule tab to set up a task to automatically build or publish the targets in the future. This is a good option if you need to set up recurring build and publishing processes. Second, if you want to quickly build or publish multiple targets right away, you can open the Builds window pane. Click the Build Targets button. Find and select the project containing the targets you want to work with, even if it's a different project than the one you have open. Select the appropriate Build and Publish checkboxes and click OK. And finally, you can use your computer's command line to build and publish targets as well as schedule them, similar to the way you use a batch target in Flare. The difference is that you don't have to open Flare at all to use this method. For more information about using the command line, see this online help topic. So as you can see, there are many ways to build and publish your Flare targets. You can make it as simple as you want, or you can use all kinds of different bells and whistles, so to speak. And that, my friends, is how people become published authors.